Making her first run for the Haverhill School Committee is Tony Sapienza-Donais. And in the same way, I suspect that many actors, after a long period of time, have mastered their craft. They decide to go behind the camera and direct, which is the same thing, the same parallel I'd like to apply to Tony insofar as that she's been in education for 40 years on one side, but now would like to switch gears and get into the policy-driven side, and that is the school committee, as we welcome Tony Sapienza to tell us more about it today. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here today.
You know, compelling factors that made you decide. I'm reading the setup over here for what you happen to have in your biography and your history, and it's very compelling as to the crucial factor that caused you to want to take a step forward and run for the Haverhill School Committee. And what was that? Can you share with our audience?
Yeah, the decision to run for the Haverhill School Committee came very naturally to me. As you had said, I've spent 40 years in education myself in Haverhill, 31 in the classroom, 9 as a principal. And I come from a long line of educators in my family. My dad, Tony Sapienza, was the beloved math teacher at Haverhill High, as well as math department head, track coach, and cross-country coach. I have 2 sisters. Both of them went on to be math teachers. My own daughter, Jen, became a math teacher and is currently a math coach. She's the recipient recently of the Presidential Award for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching, which is the highest award given to an educator in the United States. So the background in education is there. I wanted to give back to my community. I feel like I have walked the walk. I have gained a tremendous amount of experience over the 40 years. So that knowledge and experience I wanted to utilize for the betterment of our students, our staff, and just give back to my community. I've seen the Haverhill Public Schools from so many different sides. I personally went to the Haverhill Public Schools, so I know it from a student's point of view. My 3 children went to the Haverhill Public Schools, so I know it from my child's point of view. I was a teacher. I've seen it from the teacher point of view. I've seen it from the principal point of view. So I see what needs to be done. I know what our challenges are. I know what our strengths are, and I want to build on those strengths to combat any weaknesses that we have.
What are some of the weaknesses and what can be done?
There's weaknesses in every school district across the nation.
Improvement can happen everywhere.
We are finding, across the nation there's so many issues, but in Haverhill itself, I think I want to put it under a big umbrella of teacher necessities. And that is a big umbrella because teacher necessities can include not just limited to our teacher salaries that are really lagging behind other communities, per pupil spending, which is lacking, our teacher empowerment, our teachers feeling valued, all need to be addressed because at this point we're at a very low as far as how teachers are feeling empowered and valued. And it is connected to their salaries, but it's also connected to letting teachers make decisions that affect them in the classroom. It's also providing them with the tools they need for their classroom, which includes professional development. We have a different student coming into our classroom than we did even 3, 4, 5 years ago. These teachers need to have the professional development behind them so that they know how to deal with these students, from the student attitudes and students' behavior. If we're not letting our teachers get the professional development they need, they don't have the tools they need in the classroom.
If you know firsthand from experience, these are the things that people are going to need because it's not theoretical from anybody's perspective, it's practical application because you've been there, as you say, you've walked the walk. That being the case, if you know what they need, how do you know you can get the committee to deliver it, given the fact that we're talking committee is based upon policy? It's policy-driven, not budget-driven. So how do you know you can circumnavigate the waters to get to where the school system needs to be?
Okay, there's a couple different ways. Obviously, it starts with communication. We need to open up the lines of communication. We also have to look at what resources are out there. My own daughter was a teacher in Haverhill Public Schools, and she has recently returned from Dubai, where she was chosen to go to Dubai from STEM Revolution to teach STEM education to teachers in Dubai. So
STEM meaning?
Excuse me?
STEM, standing for?
It's the scientific, we use 21st century skills and combining the math and the science skills into the classroom. So when she went to Dubai, she taught the teachers in Dubai STEM. She had a tremendous amount of knowledge to bring back to the Haverhill Public Schools. Other teachers can be given these same opportunities. We got to take these teachers when they come back and use that for our professional development in Haverhill, which will not cost our city any money at all. So these are opportunities that are out there. My daughter also just returned from space camp, which was the NASA in Atlanta, Georgia, and she spent a week there. And while she was there, again, she learned using math and science in the classroom. So these are the opportunities that are out there for teachers. We can take those opportunities, bring them back to Haverhill. Very low cost on sending them to these workshops and seminars. A lot of them are funded by the United States government. A lot of them have grants out there. So get the teachers this professional development, have them come back and be the trainers in the classrooms.
People have said, and I guess it depends upon the source it comes from, but there's a question of low morale as far as the teachers in the city of Haverhill. And what does that do to that you can ascertain?
When there is low morale, it is a ripple effect across a whole district. It not only affects the teachers, it's not just the teachers that are affected, because what comes across, it comes across to the students, and then it's a disease that spreads.
It's infectious, then you're saying?
Most definitely infectious. And there's so many ways to turn that low morale around. It's the pay scale obviously is a big factor. However, it's also those teachers feeling valued. It's giving credit to them where credit is due. It's letting them have the opportunities to go for these professional developments so they can come back energized from them. Just to see some of my teachers that have gone to workshops, when they come back, they're just so excited to share that with the staff, giving these teachers the time to share that with the staff. If they come back and you don't put into place a time that this could be discussed, and so the teachers can network with their staff to share all this, then all that knowledge has gone to waste. It's just staying with that one teacher, where it can be infectious and spread that excitement of learning to other teachers.
The benefit that teachers may be able to get from professional development, and as talented as they may be, in being able to apply what they learn and try to apply what they've learned to the student body that they're trying to get to, there's got to be an absorption factor and benefit coming from the student as well, to be accepting of that. How, in order to have a measurable effect?
Correct.
What do you do in a circumstance when sometimes you have student bodies or some classes where the students are not receptive and just dig their heels in? Because I'm just relying upon my memory where there were some students were just incorrigible. And the fact is, you take into account when we're all taking a test, and this person's taking a test, and you know that person doesn't care. That takes a nosedive, and that skews everybody else in the room to go down the tube. How do you deal with something like that?
Well, as I said, the students of today are not the students we had 3, 4, even 5 years ago. Again, we go back to the professional development. There are workshops and seminars that teach teachers how to deal with that type of student in the classroom. And then it's coming back and having the school department provide the support that is needed in the classroom. The teacher can't go it alone in the classroom. That's where our counselors and adjustment counselors come in to help them in the classroom. But it also starts with the teacher being excited about learning, because when you have a teacher in the class that is excited about learning, it is infectious to the students. The students also become excited. It's providing students with small group instruction, providing them with some hands-on activity, not the lecture style type of learning of years ago.
Tony Sapienza-Donais. It sounds like you've got a formula for success that you hope the voters will go ahead and partake in.
Correct.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
really
very much for
appreciate
being
it.
here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We hope that this program has been a point of reference for you. And until next time, my name is Frank Novak, and thanks very much for watching. And remember to vote on Election Day, Tuesday, November 5th.